This is the GMWD swivel arm cable machine. It's got two 180-degree swivel arms. It's plate loaded. There's one vertical upright and it's wall mounted. So currently, there's been a lot of hype around the EONFIT Omni cable machine, which is super similar to this, but it's sold out everywhere. So if that's something you're looking for, this might be a good alternative. The main difference with this machine against the EONFIT Omni machine is there's only going to be one vertical upright right here. And instead of a second vertical upright, this machine is mounted directly to the wall. And one of the pros of this machine over the EONFIT Omni is that the footprint is going to be way smaller. So this one measures 25 inches and 30 inches against the wall, while the EONFIT Omni machine measures 35 inches by 35 inches. So this one is going to be way smaller if you have a small home gym. The last difference is going to be a con. So this machine only has one pulley at the very end when you pull against it, and then just a plastic piece right here. The EONFIT Omni is going to have two pulleys at the very end. So the cable machine all arrived in one huge package. It was actually packaged pretty well, and it was actually very easy to build. It probably only took me about an hour to build the whole thing. For the price, I really cannot complain about the quality. It's not the greatest, but for about $400, you really can't beat this type of machine. The machine is listed online to be 14 gauge. The arms are definitely 14 gauge, but I would say the rest of the frame is definitely only 16 or 18 gauge steel. So before I even got the machine, GMWD actually reached out and emailed me saying there were minor quality control issues. Major kudos to GMWD for being transparent about their quality control issues. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the quality of this machine. The only major problem I had was when I was building it and inserting these uprights into the frame. They were pretty loose. So I really had to screw in the frame to make it not loose, kind of bending the frame, but overall it turned out okay. You can kind of see where the frame got bent, but after that it keeps the upright very tight without any wobble or play. So why did I buy this machine? There were two reasons I really wanted this machine. I wanted a machine where I could do cable flies, as seen here, and a machine where I could do lat pull downs. And this machine was able to satisfy both of those exercises and do them pretty well. So there's a lot of cable machines like the Titan and Bells of Steel cable machine, and they don't have the arms. And because of that, it makes it very awkward when you're doing cable flies. The cables are wrapping around your arms as you're flying. And those machines just don't efficiently do the lat pull down like this machine. And with this machine, you're able to get a 1-to-1 ratio when you're doing the lat pull down, which is pretty important because usually people are pulling pretty heavy for lat pull down. So who is this machine for? This is pretty much for someone on a budget who doesn't have a lot of room and wants a lot of versatility to be able to do a lot of exercises with one machine. As you can see, there's so many exercises you can do, from shoulders to chest to back, and even more exercises that I don't even show. Like, people are probably creating new exercises with this machine because of the versatility of the arms. Here you can see if you move the arms to the side, you're able to get right over the pulley, and it makes it really easy to do these bicep curls. There's also a bunch of exercises that you can incorporate using a bench, such as rows against a bench with your chest supported, and flies using a bench, and several others that I haven't even thought of yet. So here you can see I was even able to rig up a belt squat. While it's not the most efficient, it works, and it's just another exercise on top of the several that you can do with this machine. Enough about all the good things about this machine. Let's move on to what I don't like. So what do I not like about this machine? I really tried hard to come up with cons of the GMWD cable machine, but I couldn't really think of too many. First of all, there's the quality control issue of the upright going into the frame. It's very loose until you really tighten down the bolts, which kind of bend the frame, but it ends up working. The second thing would be there's only one pulley at the end, unlike the EONFIT Omni, which has two pulleys, which would help it give more mobility when you're pulling in different directions. The third thing is, since it's frame mounted, there's a little bit of side-to-side wobble that you can kind of notice when you're pulling to the side, which is not too big of a deal because as long as you're pulling straight out, there's no side-to-side movement. That's the third thing. And then the fourth thing would be that sometimes when you pull up on the weight, the bumper gets stuck and then it falls down and it's just annoying because you're doing pulling movements and then the bumper just keeps falling down and it's just annoying. It's not a huge thing, but something that's noticeable, and I ended up just zip tying it because it was so annoying, and I fixed that. So I've had this machine for about 2 months now, and while it's a great machine out of the box and stock, there were a few things that I decided to upgrade. So the first thing I upgraded were the cushions for the leg holder. The stock one, I felt like when I was using it, it just dug into my leg and was really uncomfortable. So I got this one on Amazon. It's about an inch thicker and just way more comfortable to use. Another small upgrade I made were getting new carabiners. While the old ones worked, I find that they're lightweight, heavy-duty carabiners. It's just way easier to clip on and off any cable attachments that you have. So I really recommend these. I'll link these in the description below. Some other upgrades I made were for storage. So I ended up getting these magnetic hooks from Harbor Freight, and since the frame is metal, they just stick right on, and any attachments you have, you can just store them right on the machine. I also highly recommend getting some kind of wall-mounted plate storage, which is where I mounted my plates to use for the machine. This was actually just a plate tree that I cut and then pretty much just drilled into the wall. So this was pretty cheap using a weight tray I already had. And now, since I have weights right between it, it's really easy to load both sides of the weight tree since you can access the plate storage on both sides of the machine. Lastly, the biggest difference change I made was upgrading the pulleys to all aluminum pulleys. So pretty much it came with original plastic stock pulleys, and then I got aluminum pulleys on AliExpress for about $100 for all of them. And now the machine's just way smoother whenever you pull it. And if you want more details on how to do that and kind of the difference it makes, I have another video on my YouTube channel that you can check out. Yeah, I highly recommend the aluminum pulleys. They make a huge difference. The original stock ones were really scratchy, but I find that these just glide and are just really smooth and make me want to use the machine more. So, small change, but big difference. That's my review of the GMWD swivel arm cable machine. I know there's not a lot of info about this machine online because it's not as popular as the EONFIT Omni. And from my research, there's like no other reviews of this machine on YouTube. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment below and I'll make sure to answer it for you. I'm also planning on creating a lot more home gym content. I'm going to be doing a gym tour. I have a lot more equipment that I want to review. So if you're interested in that, please feel free to subscribe and like this video. And if you're in or near Louisville, Kentucky, I'll see you at Home Gym Con.